Hi, this is Tara Green. We're talking about the Scorpio New Moon on November the 4th, 2021 at 12 degrees Scorpio. So you can see I've actually overdrawn the aspects here. You can see them a little better. So there's lots going on here. Now, the main thing is, of course, that the Sun and the Moon in Scorpio are opposite Uranus exactly at 12 degrees. So this is very much a pressure, and they're all T-square Saturn in Aquarius. So this is a reiteration of the main event astrologically of 2021, which is that Saturn-Uranus square. So Saturn in Aquarius holding down the reins, but also creating the foundation for the new technology, for that new kind of AI, G5, really detached, robotic, I don't want to say the word new age, but also, that humanitarian underground restrictions, limitations, obstacles, testing, and then Uranus and Taurus wanting to hold on to the old one, it be preserving, remember they're all fixed signs here, so there's a big battle. Everybody's, convinced that they're right in their corners. But of course, because Uranus is the planet that rules Aquarius, both of these planets are, modern rulers, old rulers. So the modern ruler in Taurus, almost like they're in each other's elements here, because Saturn also rules Capricorn, of course. I think that this is a choice between kind of going into that brave new world, 1984 world, or using new technologies and new inventions and new societies and new cultures to create new value. Taurus is about values. Okay, now Scorpio, it's about deep, deep emotional change, transformational change, rising like the phoenix, lots of death, lots of rebirth, lots of facing fear, lots of facing our greatest shadows, which are very prevalent and very obvious right now. Now, Mars, the ruling planet of Scorpio here, the final dispositor is in Scorpio, so it is really, really strong. It is actually conjunct the Sun and the Moon, only 9 degrees away. Pluto, the modern ruler in Capricorn, also in a nice sextile, kind of a wide one, but in a sextile, pretty wide, but still there, really to Vesta. Okay, Vesta, the root word of investment. So a lot of financial power, I would say, going on. Saturn in Aquarius rules cryptocurrencies, as does Jupiter. And Jupiter is squaring also Vesta. And kind of, again, widely squaring Scorpio. Okay, pretty wide, So innovation, but resistance. Deep emotional transformation. I think we're really facing our deepest, darkest shadows right now, and we have to be very brave and very courageous to face. This is like the dark night of the soul, that the unconscious, the collective, the moon represents the collective unconscious, as does Pluto. So the powers that are trying to control everything, the investments, the big bankers, they are they are. Okay. They are what they are. Okay, I want to talk about some other things here. Neptune is trining Vesta, and again, very widely trining. These are not kosher trines, but widely trining the Sun and the Moon. Kind of escapism, not wanting to deal with it, in denial, fantasy land, fake news, all that stuff. Chiron, the wounded healer, is inconjunct or quincunx the Sun and the Moon. So there's kind of that wounded warrior defending their actions, their whatever they've done spontaneously without thinking about it, and then going, uh-oh, what have I done later? The Sun and the Moon are also directly inconjunct to Lilith at 12 degrees. There's a lot of planets at 12 degrees here. And so Chiron and Lilith and Ceres and Lilith have been very close together for the last number of months. So Chiron sextiling, there's that wound around the mother wound, the mother lineage, and then Lilith, the empowered, the first woman who says no, who does not compromise her what she wants. She's, got to have equal rights, equal power, equal say, or else forget it, And so, we need to look at where we're afraid to do that. Chiron in Aries is like the battle Amazon, the battle warrior, and then Venus, very strongly at the 29th degree of Sagittarius, conjunct to the galactic center, which it only is at once every 8 years, conjunct to Juno, the feminine form of genius. Now, to me, this is really, really inspiring. They are both sextile Mercury, also virtually at the last degree of Libra, squaring Pluto. Venus and Juno are really powerful. It helps us to see in all 8 directions and to really speak truth, higher law. In indigenous tradition that I was taught, there's man-made laws and there's spiritual laws, sacred laws. The 2 sacred laws are that everything is born of the feminine and nothing be done to harm the children. That means everybody has their own inner child. So this urge for truth and to speak out and to be brave and to, again, inspire and lead and have higher philosophy and higher idealism and faith, that is, definitely Venus and Juno and Sag. And again, using that feminine instincts, feminine wisdom, again, not that just in your head stuff, right? Now, again, that just in your head stuff would be Mercury in Libra, towing the line, doing what we think is nice, going along with the status quo, doing what everybody else does, or doing it because you're told to do it, because it's the fashionable thing to do, whatever that is. And they are square Pluto and Capricorn. So there's a kind of, easy to manipulate kind of people's minds energy there. Okay, but then I would say Venus is very strong here, again with Juno. Okay, and the Venus and Juno are again quincunx, Algol, the most feared star in the sky, Medusa's head. She's at 28 degrees there, Taurus, but also they're inconjunct to the North Node. The North Node is down to 1 degree now, 1 degree of Gemini, so not much longer for the North Node to be in Gemini. It will shift backwards into Taurus in early January 2022. So we're in for another 1.5-year cycle of the North Node traveling through Taurus and the South Node traveling through Scorpio. And the nodes are the nodes of fate. They are what create eclipses. They move backwards through the zodiac like the sun does. So finishing out Gemini North Node, finishing out Sagittarius South Node. So releasing old belief systems, philosophies, old justice, old truths, which can be good or bad. What worked for us in the past, and then moving into open-minded, childlike innocence, asking questions. But it's going to feel very different soon when the North Node enters Taurus. Okay, it's going to be very much about earth and resources and values and money and real estate and all of that, kind of hanging on to what's most valuable, basic stuff, basic tools, food especially, going to be a big deal. Okay. And that Scorpio South Node, so a lot of secrets coming out, but a lot of power struggles, control. I just feel like I need to talk about that right now. Okay. What else have we got here? There's more stuff here. Okay. Ceres and Lilith. I've talked about them before very strongly. That is the archetype of the unconditionally loving mother, and Lilith being the independent first woman, doing what she wants. Okay, I find these inconjuncts, or what they call fingers of God, very powerful. Of course, Chiron, the wounded healer, sextile Lilith and Ceres in conjunct the sun and the moon means there's deep transformation, sexual energy here. Of course, Scorpio, sexual energy. I think people are afraid to have sex these days or to get intimate because COVID is really tainted. It's really like a poison. And Neptune rules poisons and rules viruses. And we can see Neptune's unconscious energy kind of seeping in there, the fog. Nobody really knows what's going on, confusion. So I would say the only way to really get to the truth would be to tune into Venus. Venus at the last degree of Sagittarius, again conjunct the galactic center. So the galactic center, the big black hole at the center of our galaxy, you visualize that. I don't know if you remember, somebody took a picture of it. Visualize that big black hole. It is a vast resource of all kinds of cosmic energies that are inexorably kind of sucked into it. But It is the place where the Mayans believe that souls enter this galaxy and leave. There, it's like a wormhole. And then there's Juno there. So imagining Juno as this multi-talented, multi-colored magic wand in a way, and just kind of, it's like the wish-fulfilling gem is what's coming to me. So think about what you would really want to wish for, what you were asking the galaxy for. Venus and Juno are also sextiling Jupiter in Aquarius. So again, these sextiles are very nice positive aspects. Also remember that Pluto and Heiress, the big troublemaker, the goddess of Disturbia, she is Mars's sister, the bloodthirsty one, the one who started the Trojan War by not being invited to a wedding. She was like the odd one out, and because she wasn't invited, she had this golden apple inscribed to the most beautiful and threw it at Athena and Hera and Aphrodite, and the three of them argued over it, and it was then left to someone else to decide who was the most beautiful, and of course Venus won, which it then inevitably started the Trojan War, which was a big tragedy. So Eris, again, just like Mars, squaring Pluto, this has been a big factor into the heavy energy that's been going on all of 2021. And again, because she is Mars' sister, it's like the feminine aspect of revenge. So where is that deep revenge coming from in the plutocrats? What are they trying to revenge themselves against? What is their beef against humanity? Crimes against humanity. And why trying to extract this blood? Why so bloodthirsty? That's very Scorpio. Revenge, control, secrets, money, power, just absolute power that corrupts completely. Okay. All right. So time for deep, emotional, fearless. That's Scorpio. Obsession, not getting distracted. That's Neptune. The shifting, distraction show, that was created by the Pentagon. The whole internet was created by the Pentagon. We're like paying to be surveilled. It's all secret stuff. You have to see beyond the veil of illusion. The new moon, the dark moon, especially the Scorpio dark moon, is the darkest dark moon of the year. Remember, there's only one new moon in Scorpio every year. And it is the sign of death, of rebirth, of transformation. And so we have to fearlessly look at death, and we're all going to die. That is what the ego doesn't want to look at. So doing these kind of Buddhist, there's a Buddhist deity called Demchok, and you do his mantra, and it would be like going to cemeteries like they do in in India, and just, literally looking at rotting corpses and things like that, not just Halloween, whatever, gory stuff, but really looking at death, looking at decay, knowing that you're going to die. It's like watching your skull dissolve, like in an LSD trip, or taking ayahuasca where the big anaconda snake comes and eats you to destroy your ego. Ultimately that's what Scorpio is about. It's not usually talked about that way, but it is about the death of your ego, and that's why, Scorpio's association with sex, and, the French call an orgasm the little death, because you do lose your ego, at least for that moment, but that moment is an eternity. So even if you need to think about facing death as this gigantic orgasmic energy at the same time to get you to face it, that's a good thing, because it's all connected. Death, birth, we all get here through sex, we all get here through orgasms. That's actually what creates life. Orgasms create life, so that sense of joy and expansion and oneness, that's also Neptune. To get here, we get here on this orgasmic burst of energy, burst of light coming from the great cosmic void, the feminine, the black mother, the dark matter. Everything comes out of that void of pure potential, and it just blasts into conception. So Scorpio is also that sign too. So what new energies can we conceive of right now while we're sitting in the dark? Now, in the northern hemisphere here, we just had Halloween, the witch's New Year, the pagan ending of the natural year. It's clearly winter is setting in. It was the Day of the Dead, November the 1st, so we're just past that kind of energy. So using death as an ally and being really, really fearless, I would say, is what we need to be. Try to fearlessly look through the veils of illusion and go, what is really going on? And for each of us, we can only discern what our own visions are. But to get to that truth is a bit of a journey these days. Okay, so I would call upon Mars and Scorpio to bring passion and desire and energy and orgasmic energy and joy, and kind of like going, yeah, I'm ready to die. I'm ready to die for what I believe in. The sun and the moon, and then that Vesta energy to Venus, to the galactic center, to Juno, to Algol, to the North Node. Being the wounded healer, going into the places where you're wounded deeply, kind of to die to reach immortality. And so, again, facing your own death, giving up being immortal, to be free of pain and suffering. And that's what the Buddha is always on about, realizing that they're already enlightened and to have no more pain and suffering. And that Neptune sense of, what can I do to raise the world to that awareness that we are all one. We are not inseparable. We're all born of women. We're all human beings. There is no difference. All of that is just mental constructs. So Saturn, Uranus, tight square here to the sun and the moon. So things are coming to a crux. This is like, things are coming to a point. This is the toughest time. This is the most intense time. And then something's got to give. Something's got to give. We're also going to be heading into eclipse season. The next two eclipses coming up, November the 19th. Again, a powerful Taurus lunar eclipse with the moon on Algol. So, in fact, the South Node and Algol being conjunct there. The North Node and Algol being conjunct is where we're heading to at that lunar eclipse. Quite powerful. And then after that, the only total solar eclipse of the year, and it looks like we're heading into the end of 21 already. I can see that. So the total Sagittarius solar eclipse, December the 3rd and December the 4th at 12 degrees of Sagittarius, which is conjunct the Great Attractor. So that's very interesting. And also Vesta and Mercury on that one. So looking further ahead to that. So usually I do a new moon astrology magic workshop. It didn't feel right for me to do that. I'm kind of deeply in my own issues right now, so please bide with me. I will be doing, of course, the next eclipses. They're very, very powerful and impactful, and so I will be doing full moon astrology workshops for that for sure. So if you want to get in touch with me, if you need more insights, if you need personal insights, I also want to mention, I think I did not mention Athena there in Pisces, trining the sun and the moon and Mars. That's a very nice aspect. So Athena, she was an Amazon warrior, the strategist. I mean, she was made by the patriarchy into one of the only goddesses. She didn't have a mother. I think there was other ones formed fully out of Zeus as well, Jupiter, but she is a female goddess born without a mother, so she is like Zeus's brainchild. So she's there in Pisces to give us some kind of strategy in the wasteland, I would say. So tune into her wisdom as well. The city of Athens is built in her honor. And something's going to happen out of Greece. I'm just giving that energy intuitively. Some new truths are going to come out. All right. If you want to get in touch with me, I'm at taratarot.com. Please follow my blog at infinitynow.wordpress.com. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok as well. Wishing you many blessings, and I'm going to get back to being more back on social media soon. Okay. Blessings to you for this beautiful new moon. Now, if the new moon affects your planets, at 3 or 12 degrees very strongly, or by square, from that 7 to 12 degrees Aquarius, again 7 to 12 degrees Taurus, and 7 to 12 degrees Leo, you will feel this impact more. Okay? Sending you many blessings.